What's up guys, this is Jolt here from the Thetokenminorities, and I have another Wi-Fi battle for you today. This is a friendly between me and my buddy Clark Kent. He was a battler in our March Madness Pokemon tournament, and he unfortunately had to drop out midway, but we decided to still have a match regardless because I thought he was a pretty cool dude. He seems to like us and Wobbuffet too, so we thought it'd be a pretty fun match. So we're going to give a brief team preview here and move on to the battle. So as for my team, see, I was told to bring just kind of OU, subpar OU Pokemon and maybe some stuff that's from lower tiers. So I decided to do that, and then I saw his team and I felt really bad for bringing Greninja. So Greninja, I'm going to try to be kind of nice with because it does kind of just destroy his whole team. I'm not going to use it as much as I could in this match, so keep that in mind whenever I make some of the plays that I do. As for my team, I do have an Assault Vest Tornadus T. I have Greninja, like I said before. I have Mega Medicham. I have Porygon 2 with a Violite. I have Roserade, and I have Choice Scarf Darmanitan. He is running Darmanitan, Sandslash, Gligar, most likely a Violite, definitely a Violite, likely a Mega Medicham of his own, Cherim, which is an awesome Pokemon that he decided to bring for this match. That made it channel worthy on its own. And then a Ninetales, so I'm thinking this is going to be a version of a Sun team. So why don't we just move right into this battle, shall we? Alright, so here we are with the actual battle. I decided to lead off with my Choice Scarf Darmanitan, as that is the best lead on my team for any situation, really. He leads off with his Ninetales, which is totally fine. He's going to set up the Drought to have that Sun up on the field throughout the match. He decides to switch right out into his Gligar, and I predict that switch and just go for the U-turn to get a little switch initiative going early on. Mainly, but also a way to scout what kind of item he has on the Gligar, etc., just to make sure it is going to be in a Violite version. So yeah, U-turn into my Tornadus T, which actually has knockoff, and I really wanted to knock off that Violite. Unfortunately, he just goes back into his Ninetales to take it. It's fine by me though, because I am an Assault Vest variant. I know I can take anything Ninetales wants to dish at me, so I'm just going to go for a little bit more damage with Aerial Ace on that Ninetales. And now predicting his switch, not wanting to sacrifice his Ninetales so early, I do go for a U-turn again, which is a pretty nice play on my part. I'm able to hit the Sandslash for a little bit of extra damage and switch in the Roserade to threaten the Sandslash. He's going to get a little bit of health back from leftovers, telling me it is not an Assault Vest Sandslash, it is going to be a leftovers variant. I'm just going to go ahead and go for I believe a Sludge Bomb on this turn. No, Sleep Powder. Go for a Sleep Powder on this turn. I'm predicting him to not want to bring in the Cherim, but it turns out that's exactly what he wants to do, bring in the Cherim. He absorbs the Sleep Powder just fine, but I hit him with a powerful Sludge Bomb, as Roserade's special attack is very high. And the Sludge Bomb, I believe, poisons him, but he does have a Lumberry, so that's totally okay. He must have overpredicted in this situation instead of going for Weather Ball, if he gets Weather Ball or Hidden Power Fire. He goes for the Solar Beam, which really does nothing to Roserade, so I am able to take it out with the Sludge Bomb on the following turn. Sadly, Cherim was not very effective in this match, but it's still awesome that he brought it to this match, and I really appreciate that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the Cherim does go down. He goes into his Dardo Macho, his Darmanitan, which is going to be a big problem for Roserade. Him bringing him in that situation guarantees that it is a Choice Scarf Darmanitan. I bring in Porygon 2 basically as death fodder because nothing on my team wants to take a Flare Blitz boosted in the Sun, especially from his Sheer Force Darmanitan. It's going to do, what, 85% of Porygon 2, a defensive Porygon 2 at that with a Violite. Easily going to 2-hit KO on that second one, so I'm just going to sacrifice it here. He has taken a lot of recoil from all those Flare Blitzes though, so that's nice. I go into Greninja knowing that I can probably definitely take a Flare Blitz because I do resist it. I won't take it well, but I can take it. I'm just going to go for a Hydro Pump on this turn regardless of what he wants to bring in. It's going to do a lot of damage. I do miss the Hydro Pump on this turn, which is fine. I'm just going to counter with a Dark Pulse, and that will remove the Ninetales. So Greninja got his kill. I'm going to try to be a little more lenient with him later on in the match because it does really outclass everything that he brought to this match. So he brings in his Darmanitan, which obviously scares me out. I don't want to just sacrifice a Greninja in case I actually needed to pull out a win in the end. Yeah, I'm a bad person, I know. I just go into Roserade really to sacrifice it. I thought he'd just go for a Flare Blitz, knowing that it would do a ton of damage to me. But he just goes for the U-turn, which is fine. I'm able to take it. He goes into his Mega Medicham, or going to be a Mega Medicham for sure, as it Mega Evolves here. I am a little bit scared of what he wants to do, but I am just going to go for a Sleep Powder on this turn, knowing that I do outspeed, and if he does want to go for a Fake Out, that's fine. I had intended to sacrifice Roserade on the following turn anyway, but I am able to get off that Sleep Powder, which is great, because now I'm able to hit the Mega Medicham with a couple Sludge Bombs and do a good chunk of damage to it. I believe it is a guaranteed 3-hit KO, almost a 2-hit KO, just kind of depends on damage variance. It looks like in this case I will get a 2-hit KO, unless I get a low damage roll on the second one. The sun does wear off on that following turn, so that, or the prior turn, so that's good stuff, because now his sun team's not going to be nearly as effective, although it really doesn't have much more that really benefits from the sun, so it's kind of, it's okay. It just means that Darmanitan won't be as effective. He goes into Darmanitan here, and I'm going to let Roserade faint, finally. Sorry, Roserade, but you've done your job. You're going down to a Flare Blitz from that Darmanitan, and that's going to hurt, but I do get a lot of recoil damage on the Darmanitan, so that is beautiful. I go into my own Mega Medicham here and Mega Evolve, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out, knowing that it's going to do about 40% of damage to this Darmanitan. So that is a nice little situation to be in. That means that he can't take much more recoil before he goes down. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Bullet Punch here in case he wants to go for the Kamikaze kill, but he does not decide to do that. He just goes into his Sand Slash, which was a smart play, just to take the Bullet Punch, as Sand Slash has a lot of defense. So he takes the Bullet Punch rather well. I go ahead and switch out into my Assault Vest Tornadus T. He goes for the counter on that turn though, so that could have been really bad for my Medicham, because it definitely would have lived the high jump kick. But luckily I don't fall for that, although I definitely could have. I was thinking nothing about counter. So I just go for the knockoff there on the Sand Slash with my Tornadus T, which is nice because I get rid of his leftovers. He goes for a Poison Jab, which does a good chunk of damage, but it's fine because I am just able to U-turn out and use that Regenerator to get some of that health back. I go into my Greninja here to take some damage because, like I said, it is not really fair in this matchup. He does get a Poison on me, which I'm actually happy about because it makes me feel a little better about bringing Greninja, but I do go ahead and go for the Ice Beam in this case because that is my best play. I don't really want to switch it out at this point, and I really don't have a move that doesn't kill Sand Slash, so I just go for the Ice Beam and take it right out, but I am going to take Poison and Life Orb damage in the process. He goes into his Darmanitan here, and I am going to switch out just to preserve the Greninja, and also just predicting the U-turn, so I thought it might be safest to just go into Tornadus T to get that health back from Regenerator now, while it's just going to take a weak hit from the Darmanitan. So that's a good situation for me to be in. I am going to rely on this Tornadus T to pull out the game for me. He brings in his Gligar, which is great because now I'm able to knock off that Violite, which is what makes Gligar so difficult to take down. Unfortunately, he goes for the knockoff on me as well, so I lose my Assault Vest, but that's fine because he doesn't really have any special attackers remaining, I believe, so I really could care less. I just go for the U-turn here. As he's probably going to Roost, I just go into Medicham, knowing that he'll be back up to full health. I can Fake Out to get him down to about 75%, and then I can proceed from there. So that's exactly what happens. I go for that Fake Out, and it does, yeah, about 25%, so I called that. So I switch out into my Tornadus yet again. Here I'm just going to go for some Aerial Aces, knowing that without that Violite, it's going to do a lot more damage than it was before. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough, but that critical hit is very, very crucial because now he really doesn't have the opportunity to recover like he wants to because he goes for U-turn on that last turn, probably expecting my U-turn, not really sure. Unfortunately, he goes into Darmanitan, goes for U-turn again, must have over-predicted, which is too bad. So basically, Gligar is just going to take an Aerial Ace to the face, which is, or knockoff rather than an Aerial Ace. So that's too bad for him. That does put him in really an insurmountable position. The Gligar goes down, and the Darmanitan will come back out, and I will allow it to take me out with the Flare Blitz, but that will, I believe, almost take him down in the process, if not take him down in the process. And I always have Fake Out with Medicham to finish him off if it doesn't kill. But that is Darmanitan, and I believe that's the game. It is. So that was a fun game, Mo / Clark Kent, whatever you want to be referred by. he did ask that I post his channel in the description of this video, so make sure to check that out. He is going to be a rising YouTuber, I assume. So definitely check out his channel. He's a really cool guy. I'm sure you'll love his content, and I'm looking forward to seeing what all he wants to put on his channel. So yeah, thanks for the battle, man, and we will see you all next time. Bye bye.